What's going on, folks? Welcome back to the Lawn Shark channel as we are getting ready for our lawn renovation while we're waiting for the lawn to continue to crisp up after we did all of that glyphosate. One of the things that we want to do is get this backyard ready for us to be able to do all the seeding. And one of the things that I want to do before we get there is to make sure that anything that's kind of out of order or that needs to be dealt with, I'm going to do that so that I don't have to deal with it after I do all the seeding. One of the things that we're going to do, and we're going to take care of that today, is the swamp that is the discharge from our air conditioning unit. So right now it is pretty nasty. Let me show you. So as you can see, this is a straight swamp. The discharge is right there and it's just a mess. So one of the thoughts that I have for this is that I'm going to put down some of the pea gravel that's sitting over in my parking pad, and I'm going to move it this way. The reason why is because I want to get rid of that pea gravel that's over there. It conceptually was a great idea. It looks good, but it's just the stones are too rounded, and so when the cars park there, it's just really mushy, and I'm constantly having to move things around, and it's unstable for the cars. So I'm going to redo that. Not redo all of it, just the rocks. I'm going to get rid of the pea gravel, and I'm going to put the pea gravel here and in a couple of different places around the shed, that sort of thing. And then so we're going to reuse all that stuff. It's about 5 yards of pea gravel, and then I'll bring in some gravel that will hold together a little bit better. I may even put in some of the crusher run and do some compaction in there and make it just a little bit more stable area for parking, and it won't be quite as messy also when it rains. So, and then that way we can start dealing with all the other things that we've got to do before we actually put down any seed for this lawn renovation. So it's our task for today. Let's get moving. This is what I have so far. I'm going to call it a night because it's getting late. But I'm basically taking the rocks from our parking pad and moving them over here. I'm going to do something else with the rocks over there. But put in this border all the way around, and that should clean it up quite a bit, make it look nice. And then over here, we'll put down a few steps that come out of that gate going this way, and then have grass growing all around it. Eventually what I'd like to do is do some sort of a planter along the fence line, but that's not something I'm going to do right now because I just need to get this all ready for our grass. So I'll just plant grass right up against it. But overall, I think it's going to look better once I get enough rocks over here. It definitely will look cleaner than the way that it's been looking. So that'll be for tomorrow, and yeah, give it another day. It'll look a lot better. Well, I didn't record all of this stuff, but I did finish, and we put down all of the landscape fabric and then moved a bunch of the pea gravel from the drive and moved it back here. I'm going to be moving a lot of that stuff and then redoing it, but it looks a lot cleaner. So now what we're going to work on is a little bit of a walkway over here, walking out of this gate so that you have like a little bit of a path so it doesn't get as muddy. But since we diverted all of the discharge from that air conditioner, we should be in a lot better shape as far as water. So that's what we're working on now. Alright, so those are the steps that we put in, and as you can tell they're a little high, and that's okay, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to fill in with dirt and then put grass all the way around it. Now they're pretty far apart, so it's not going to be a comfortable walk, but it'll at least give some steps for people to walk through if they want to. So that's kind of the plan. The rest of it will just be grass, but I'll talk to my wife and see if she wants me to get more stones, maybe even go a little bit further, but for now this will do. So I decided to reset these stones, and the only way that I could think of to make it as even as possible is to do it like I would do regular pavers. Put down my 2 bars, set the sand in between them, and then took my big landscape rake and just pulled the sand through, and now I can reset all of the stones more evenly. I got 5 more, I've got 10. I'm gonna do 10 total. I'm gonna do them a foot apart, and I want them more or less parallel to the new rocks that we have in there, and then we'll raise everything up with the dirt. So that's the easiest, fastest way I think to do it, and that way they're nice and even, and they should be pretty much straight all the way across. But I want everything to be even with the grass when I grow it, so that I can get my reel mower even with the stones and with the grass. So that's pretty much it. And I just got to measure a foot apart, starting with the fence, because the fence does open out. And so since it opens out, then I can be a foot away from there. I don't have to worry about anything swinging in and hitting it. And then we'll just go a foot apart from each one of them. And I'll use the bar as my guide as to, you know, keeping it from swimming on it. I think the biggest change here is that we cleaned up this air conditioning area so it looks a little bit better. We've got all of these steps. Now the big thing is I've got to get a bunch of compost and sand all in here, and we had 10 steps, but I broke one. So we're just gonna do 9 steps, which is kind of sad, but that's okay. But anyway, I got to get a bunch of compost and sand and really kind of pack it in around all of this stuff, and that way the stones won't move. They're pretty set, really. They're set pretty well in the sand, so I'm not too terribly worried about that. But we are gonna want to get the compost and sand packed in around it so it doesn't do any more movement, especially if it rains. So I'm working on that next, but you know, there's just a lot of materials that need to get moved, but you know, we'll get to it. It's just a lot. But I think we are approaching the next few days. I should get all the compost. I'm not gonna put that much compost and sand back here, because with the aeration and with all of the power raking and moving of the dirt, if you remember, I put a bunch of compost and sand here back in the spring. So I think I just need to put a little bit more, get it all mixed in, get it leveled out, and then we can get all the seed down. So that's kind of our next thing, and we'll get that going here shortly. But that's all I've got. Hope you guys enjoy this video. If you like this video, don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe if I have earned your subscription. And if you want to be notified of future videos, don't forget to hit that bell, and we will see you on the next one. Have a great week, everybody.